We're not just talking about steel and concrete anymore. We're witnessing a revolution, and it's not a revolution of bricks, but of data. It's called Building Information Modeling, or BIM, and trust me, it is changing everything.
For decades, construction has been all about lines on paper, right? Fragmented systems. Yet architects, engineers, builders, all basically speaking different languages, working from different blueprints. And the result? Well, the process wasn't just slow, it was fundamentally broken.
So, this was the big dilemma for generations. You're trying to solve these incredibly complex three-dimensional problems with flat two-dimensional plans. I mean, think about it. That's like trying to build a starship with a paper map. It's just not going to work.
And the difference here is just, it's night and day. With the old way, 2D CAD, you're literally just drawing lines. If you change one of those lines, guess what? You've got to manually hunt down every single other drawing it affects. It's a nightmare. But with BIM, you're building with smart objects. That wall knows it's a wall. So when you move it, boom, every single view updates instantly. That's the intelligence we're talking about. And the consequences of the old way, they were staggering. I'm talking about pipes clashing with beams that nobody saw until they were physically on site, costing millions to fix. Budgets getting absolutely destroyed by endless rework. Decisions were being made in the dark, based on information that was all over the place. This was the incredibly costly reality of building blind. But then, something started to shift. A kind of awakening in the industry. We started moving away from just drawing buildings and started embedding them with information. And that, right there, is the I in BIM. It's the intelligence, and it changes absolutely everything. So what exactly is BIM? You know, you can forget the textbook definition for a second. The best way to think about it is like a building's digital twin. It's a perfect virtual copy that holds every single piece of data you can imagine. We're talking everything from the manufacturer of a specific window to the exact cost of a steel beam, all the way to how that building's going to perform energetically over the next 50 years. Okay, and this is probably the single most important thing to get your head around. BIM is not just a piece of software. That's a huge misconception. Thinking that is like saying the entire internet is just your web browser. The real power isn't in the tool. It's all about how you use it. Because the real revolution, it's the process. It's a totally new way of working that basically forces collaboration. It's about taking that intelligence and embedding it into every single screw, every pipe, every wall. You create this one single source of truth that stays with the building for its entire life, from the very first sketch to the day it's decommissioned, decades down the line.
And all that intelligence leads to what is maybe the most powerful advantage in modern construction: the ability to build everything twice. This right here, this is the absolute game changer. You build the entire project in a virtual world first. Every single clash, every error, every potential disaster. You find it and you fix it on a computer screen, not on an expensive, chaotic, real-life construction site.
And the benefits? Oh, they are immense. The system can automatically detect clashes and find problems instantly. All the teams, architects, engineers, contractors, they're all collaborating on one shared model, not hundreds of separate drawings. You can even get more advanced and add the dimension of time. We call that 4D, to watch a simulation of the entire construction sequence. Or add the dimension of cost, that's 5D, and watch the budget update in real time. It's incredible.
You know, the data really speaks for itself here. Studies have shown that projects using BIM see, get this, a 64% reduction in document errors on average. Now that translates directly into less rework, fewer delays, and of course, massive cost savings. We're not talking about a small incremental improvement here. This is a quantum leap in efficiency.
So, okay, how does all this theory actually play out in the real world? Well, it's fascinating when you see it happen on a national scale. Let's take a look at Malaysia, because it's a really powerful case study of how you can strategically adopt this from the top down.
You see, Malaysia's journey with BIM wasn't some happy accident. It was very deliberate, very strategic. It kind of started back in 2007 when the Public Works Department first introduced it. But the real spark, the real catalyst, was something called the Construction Industry Transformation Program, or CITP. That's what made BIM a central pillar of the entire nation's strategy. And that ambitious journey, it's still going strong today.
But look, let's be real. Just like with any big revolution, the path forward is never perfectly smooth. Every transformation faces resistance, and the shift to BIM is absolutely no different.
I mean, you're not just asking people to change technology, you're asking them to change decades of established processes and habits.
And it's really no surprise that this kind of transformation runs into a complex web of barriers. It's never just one single problem you can fix. It's everything from the really high cost of the software and the training, all the way to these fundamental issues with company culture and sometimes a lack of clear rules from the government.
You can pretty much boil all these barriers down to 4 key areas. First, you've got the people problem. That's a huge one. Resistance to change and a serious shortage of people with the right BIM skills. Then there's process. The old contracts, the old workflows, they just don't work with this new system. Of course, you have technology costs, which can be pretty significant up front. And finally, policy. The industry really needs clear government standards to level the playing field for everyone.
But, despite all those challenges, the direction we're heading in is it's undeniable. Those roadblocks are being worked on, they're being addressed, and the vision for the future of construction, it's becoming clearer and more powerful every single day.
And if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. We're moving away from an era of simply building things to an era of programming them. Think about that. Every element is defined, every connection is understood, because the entire project now has a kind of digital DNA. This is the ultimate promise of BIM, a future where our physical world becomes a direct reflection of that perfected digital twin. A future where buildings are simulated for performance before a single brick is laid, where all the complex systems are seamlessly integrated, and the entire structure is engineered with absolute digital precision right from day one. So you see, this isn't just about adopting a new piece of software. It's about mastering a completely new process, a whole new way of thinking. And the people and companies who embrace this change, the ones who decide to lead this digital transformation, well, they're going to be the ones who build the world of tomorrow. And make no mistake, this isn't some far-off science fiction. This technology, this process, it is reshaping the entire industry as we speak, right now. The transformation is already here, so the only real question left to ask is, are you ready for it?